Once upon a time, picking US ambassadors was boring. And that was a good thing, perhaps. They were chosen for their knowledge of foreign policy, their diplomatic finesse, and their ability to diffuse a global crisis. At the very least, they knew where they were being posted, basic things like what was the capital, maybe even how it was pronounced. But then came Donald Trump. And suddenly, the ambassador game had three new criteria: how well they flatter Trump, how often they are on Fox News, and how many times they've tweeted the words, "greatest president ever." This is diplomacy Trump style. And the latest example of this is Nick Adams, a man who's built a career being a so-called alpha male. Adams was born in Australia. He immigrated to the US in 2012. He is a naturalized American. Also, he's very controversial. He makes misogynistic remarks, he goes on Islamophobic rants, and he happens to be a vocal supporter of Israel. Now, this man has been appointed as the US ambassador to Malaysia. Obviously, he still has to be confirmed by the Senate, which is the upper house of the US Parliament. But this pick has raised more than some eyebrows. That's because Malaysia is a Muslim-majority country. It is also a vocal supporter of Palestine. So appointing an envoy who is both Islamophobic and an Israel supporter can be problematic. Malaysian citizens have called it an insult. Youth politicians are up in arms. Former ministers are slamming this. They want Malaysia to reject this American appointment. And this is not a one-off case. Adams is only the latest in a list of bizarre Trump appointments, like Dr. Anjani Sinha. He is Trump's pick for ambassador to Singapore. And what are his qualifications? Well, he is an orthopedic surgeon. He once fixed Trump's shoulder. He is the president's golf buddy, and that is as good as it gets.
And what year is Singapore next scheduled to be the ASEAN chair?
This year is Malaysia.
I didn't ask you about this year. When is Singapore going to be the ASEAN chair?
I don't know when, but this year...
2027. Please describe what holding the ASEAN chair will entail for Singapore and how you would support Singapore in your role as U.S. ambassador, if confirmed. What are some of the critical things that Singapore will have to do as a chair of ASEAN?
I mean, I agree with you that you had made a statement that all the ASEAN members should be treated like a... almost
no, answer
like...
my question.
Then you have Kimberly Guilfoyle. Trump chose her for the ambassador to Greece. She was dating his son, Donald Trump Jr., and she has been a familiar face in his circle. Charles Kushner, the ambassador to France. He is a real estate mogul, also a convicted con man. More importantly, he is the father-in-law of Ivanka Trump. That is Donald Trump's daughter. Tom Barrack was tabbed as the new envoy to Turkey. He is a private equity billionaire. He was indicted by the US Department of Justice, but Trump still chose him because of his lobbying for the Trump campaign. So you get the gist. In Trump's world, diplomacy is reality TV. Ambassadorships are rewards for loyalty. You defended him on Fox News? Well, here's a ticket to Italy. You called out the deep state? Then welcome to Brussels. You like Diet Coke as much as Trump? Well, pack your bags for New Zealand. Career diplomats are out. Trump's buddies, loyalists, and inner circle is in. But what makes the appointment of Nick Adams particularly jarring is the timing. Malaysia is a middle power in Southeast Asia. It's a long-time partner, trading partner of the US. So Washington has been treading carefully. After all, Malaysian public opinion is deeply anti-American right now, especially with the war in Gaza and the threat of 25% tariffs. One would imagine this is the time for charm. Instead, the Americans are sending a man who once said, "Real men don't read fiction." So what does it really take to become an ambassador? In some countries, it's only career diplomats. In others, it is people with political experience as well. But what about the United States? Well, for Trump, America is a brand. And like any brand, it needs influencers. They may not be fluent in diplomacy or nuance, but at least they've got followers. And they're loyal to Trump. Right now, it seems that's the only metric that matters.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka karjo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali. Stop.
Japanese,
$4 trilhão以上.
Portuguese,
Por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.